I thought I told you to move those creepy things back down to your nerd bunker. I really don't understand why we have two of the same figure. You need to sell one of them, and I'm giving you until lunchtime. Otherwise, I'll sell both of them and get myself a new handbag.
You know what they say, happy wife, happy life. That means I have a decision to make. There's only one way to do this. A showdown must happen between the Toybiz MODOK and the Hasbro MODOK. Only one can stay while the other gets sold. In the end, we're going to find out. Hasbro, Toybiz, who did it better? What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Nerdzoic. It is about an hour till lunchtime, meaning I have to get my butt moving here on deciding whether I'm keeping Hasbro MODOK or Toybiz MODOK. No joke, this is going to be really hard because both are really good and both have their own pros and cons. For each category, I will give each figure a score between 1 and 3, with 1 being below expectations, 2 being meets expectations, and 3 being exceeds expectations. At the end of this, one of these two fine gentlemen are going on eBay. I have until lunch, which is at noon, and it's 11:05, so let's do this. We start off with the face design of the Toybiz, featuring an insanely detailed looking face with a fantastic color scheme, a great use of wash, and really creepy lips, and awesome looking teeth. As far as cons go, I can't think of any when it comes to the Toybiz face. The Toybiz score exceeds expectations. In the other corner, we have the Hasbro. Pros of the Hasbro include the fact that it comes with alternate faces. It's big, white, creepy eyes that look like they're looking into your soul. The details of the wrinkles that are sculpted in there, and the natural and contrasting skin tone. Cons of the Hasbro include the lack of detail to his mouth, teeth, and gums. It just does not compare to the Toybiz, and the lack of detail to tiny things, like the little purple band up here doesn't have any sort of accent paint to it. The Hasbro scores a 2, meeting expectations. Despite the Hasbro coming with two faces, the crazy detail look of the Toybiz gives it a slight edge, and it comes out on top in round 1. All right, 1 round done. This isn't gonna be so hard, is it? Looking at the Toybiz, we get double elbows and double knees. We also get the same wrist, and we also get very similar feet joints, ankle joints, whatever you want to call them. The biggest pro of the Toybiz, though, is its fingers. Look at that, that's awesome. Of course, it does have some cons. The shoulder and hip range on this puppy is very limiting, and the joystick only moves in a circle, which feels like it might snap literally at any time. The Toybiz comes in at a 2. Let's talk articulation on the Hasbro. On the pro side, he has double jointed knees, double jointed elbows, a wrist on a hinge, and above average shoulder and hip movement. He also has pivoting feet, and the joystick is on a ball so that it can move all over the place. On the con side, his fingers are not articulated, so you can't wrap them around the joystick, but he does come with an alternate set of hands, so you can have another hand clasping the joystick. The Hasbro scores a 2, meaning that round 2 is a tie. Hey, baby.
Can play trust it now?
Not right now. Daddy's making a life and death decision, and there's only a little bit of time left. Moving on to round 3, we're going to take a look at the sculpt and paint on these babies. Starting off with the Toybiz, the shading and washes of the gold on his chair is far superior to any paint jobs that Hasbro generally does. This gives it a great deep look from behind rather than looking like a chunk of shiny plastic. On the downside of the Toybiz is the blast off effect, which just looks terrible. At first I thought mine was just miscolored, but no, this is how they all look. I didn't know fire could get mold. The Toybiz meets expectation and scores a 2. Moving on to the Hasbro, he comes with an awesome looking base that has just a great color scheme of red going to orange, and it's translucent. Just looks good and fiery, and there's no mold. The base of the chair is really well sculpted, and on the back when you look at it, there's actually marbled gold in the plastic, and there's deco accents rather than just having them painted on. His hair looks fantastic, as do the minor accents throughout, like the red buttons and the joystick coloring, in addition to the data readout just below his mouth. The downside of the sculpt on this is actually on that awesome looking blast off, because he doesn't stand right. He falls over and is not well balanced unless you put the other face into its little storage area to somewhat balance the weight. Without that, it's almost guaranteed to fall. I'm not sure if that's just mine, but that has definitely been my experience thus far, and that's a pretty big con. I also would have loved to see some wash added to the back of his chair. As it is, the marbling's okay, but it doesn't really give it any depth, and it makes it look like a big shiny piece of plastic. In all, I give the Hasbro a 2 in sculpt and paint job. Just like round 2, round 3 is a tie.
Have you made a decision yet? There's less than like 15 minutes until lunchtime.
We still got 15 minutes. That's more than enough time to figure out which MODOK is the best. Here in round 4, we're going to look at the size and scale of each of these bad boys. Though only about 3/4 of an inch less wide and less tall than the Hasbro, the Toybiz just looks small. It does look bigger than standard Toybiz Marvel Legends, but it's supposed to. And that's the best I can say about the Toybiz as far as pros go on the size and scale front. On the con side, you could probably guess it, it's way too small. It is completely overshadowed by the Hasbro, and considering the size of some of the Toybiz Build-A-Figures, this is a disappointment. Toybiz comes in at a 1, below expectations. The Hasbro checks in at 8.5 inches tall and 4.5 inches wide, making it one massive piece of plastic. It scales exactly where you would expect it to with other Marvel Legends. On the downside, if you look at the in-universe size of MODOK of 12 feet tall, he's technically a few inches too small still. Hasbro scores a 2 for size and scale, giving Hasbro the victory in round 4. With just a few minutes to spare, we are almost done. Just let me tally this up. And the winner is... it's a tie.
A tie, huh? So I guess we can get rid of both of them.
Hold your horses! Hold your horses! Hold your horses! Hold your horses! We still got 3 minutes left, and I got a lightning round for you, big nerdy. All right, we got to be quick here. The sudden death category is value. At over 15 years old, the Toybiz can only be bought on the secondary market. To buy the Build-A-Figure complete off of eBay is going to cost you between $100 and $120 at best. Alternatively, you could buy the entire wave of 7 figures, but that's going to cost you $300 to be able to build him and have the 7 figures. In the end, you could actually sell the Toybiz and buy a new Hasbro and a full set of the AIM Troopers as minions. Making this an easy decision, I'm going to give the Toybiz a 1. A giant chunk of plastic with extra hands and an extra face. He goes for $50. That is a 2 for me. The Hasbro meets expectations. Meaning the winner is the Hasbro! That's right, folks. I get to keep the Hasbro. I guess in the end, I don't need 2. And the Hasbro is the clear winner of the showdown. The good news about the Toybiz is even though it's 15 years old, I am very confident that this is not a knockoff and is in fact an original. That means I'll be able to sell this and make back all of the Hasbro. If you want to make sure you're not buying knockoffs or fugazis off of eBay, check out this video on the screen somewhere to see how you can tell if a figure is a knockoff or not. Till next time, be cool, stay nerdy. Later.